Okay guys, so now what I'm going to show you is another alternative grip you could use to climb up with the crab ride when I'm doing the berimbolo, in the crab ride, knee wedge, all these positions. Now this grip is very effective and efficient, especially for leg drags, and it just follows all the rules and it kind of groups into some of the families together. And you're going to see that when we're doing these berimbolo positions, there'll be numerous grips that you could do to achieve the same thing, right? So this grip is going to help you when you're in berimbolo to do crab ride, to climb, to do all these certain things. I'm going to show you a few variations with this grip. I think that it's going to help you understand how to lift the hips, and it might even make it easier to lift the hips. So I would recommend doing this grip all the time. It's a very good grip, okay? It's going to help you, especially when the person's pulling your legs in. That's when this grip is so strong, okay? It's gonna help you change the angle of their hips. It's essentially like the same thing as when we're hugging the hips and you pull the hips, except you have your thumb in to help you do it this time. You know, usually when we make a hip grip, we have 4 fingers in. We're gonna be using our thumb in instead, okay? So now we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in the next segment. Okay guys, so let's get into it now. Basically, this grip, every grip we were doing before was 4 fingers in, right? We were turning out palm. Now we're going to actually be just going 1 thumb in and the 4 fingers on the outside. What is this going to enable me to do? It's going to enable certain muscles in my arm a little different than before, and I'm going to have more access to my bicep where I could crunch and pull in. So I'm going to be able to have more of a pull in on our hips to alter the angle of our hips when I'm doing this. So I'm going to be here. We're going to be in De La Riva, here, close the knee, I go under, and she pulls my leg in. So, let's just move this a little bit. So, what are we going to do? We're going to use the arm wedge here initially. We can use the knee wedge, does not matter for this scenario, but I first am going to show with the arm wedge. We're going to use the arm wedge, we're going to lift up the leg, and I'm going to put the crab ride hook in. But this time what I'm going to do is, so notice while I have the near hip grip, right? Near hip grip family, always with berimbolo, right? Instead of keeping this near hip grip, look what I'm going to do. Could you let go of your hands, Tammy, so they can see what I'm doing with my hands? And just open your legs, yeah. Okay. Like, bring your legs down, so I think it'll be easier for them to see. Look at my hand. I'm going to take my 4 fingers that are in, and I'm going to switch it to my thumb in, here. And I'm going to bring it in front of her body, like so. Notice when I do this, I'm able to pull her body this direction in a more efficient way. So now look how much stronger I have torque on her body. Because I could turn my thumb now. So I have this, I'm able to turn my thumb down. And now I'm able to put more pressure with my hook on her body. You see? So I try to get my hand as deep as I can. I could be on the near hip. I could climb to the middle if I can. I can even go here. I prefer like the middle near in this range because my bicep is activated the most. You see how my bicep is on her hip? This is gonna help me bring her hips down and it's gonna help me climb. Okay, it's gonna help me rock her body this way. Okay, so we're here. Now pull my leg in, please. You're gonna go back to this grip. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna use my frames and the arm wedge here to get my foot out, to get to the crab ride. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to pull her hip this way. Why am I doing this? It's gonna help me have more room to climb my fingers in. I'm gonna get the grip in the middle for now. And all we're going to do is I'm going to pull her foot to the floor. Notice when I pull her foot to the floor how much I'm able to rock her to the side. You look at this, how strong this is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull her to the side. I'm going to bring my knee above her body, near hip family. Now look how I can climb so easy. And I can stretch her. And I can take the back. Again. Here I go under. She pulls my leg in. I'm going to go arm wedge, push her knee, angle her hip this way so I can put my foot in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my thumb in, the thumb in, grip, thumb in. Now I'm going to pull her body this direction. Look how much I'm able to stack her with this grip. Now I can even grab the hip like this if I want. And look what she's doing with this arm. What does that mean? This arm's occupied. What does that mean? We're in the climbing family, right? Look how the back of her head is free. Look how this collar grip is free. But I'm just going to pull my body above her, get to the back of her head, I'm going to stretch her body. And now I can take the back. Again. Again, there's so many alternative grips when you're doing berimbolo, but I just want you guys to see how it's still accomplishing the same goal as before, right? And there's going to be so many different alternative grips. But I just want you guys to keep with the same principles and concepts. So we're here. We go under, she pulls my leg in. I wedge, I get my arm in. Now when I go here, I'm just going to lift up her body. I'm just going to bring her foot to the floor like a step. You see? But now look how strong it is because my knee could change angles. Please, this way. My knee goes to this side of her body. You see? The near side crab right hook, right? So I'm here. I lift up. I bring my knee above her body. Now my hips are both connected to her hips, right? Rule of berimbolo. Connect hips to hips. Now I can grab the back of her neck or her shoulder or the collar here. Doesn't matter. Now I can stretch. Now I can grab the collars. You take the again. Here, thumb in grip, right? This is the thumb in grip series of berimbolo. Here, I put my thumb in. Now I'm gonna rock her. Here, I'm gonna put my leg on top. And now look, if I feel like her hips are above me, I'm just gonna grab the belt grip. I'm gonna bring my hips above her. Now I can grab the back of the head. I can grab the collars. I can even let go of the thumb in grip and grab both collars and stretch. Again. Here, I clear the leg. I put my foot in. I go thumb in. I'm going to rock her down. I'm going to bring my hips up. I'm going to grab the back of her head. Stretch. And thumb in. You see how I do the feed? I just bring her body this way a little bit. Now I can feed. Now once I feed, I just bring her foot to the floor. She's keeping my legs strong. I just bring my hips up. I bring my hips up and I climb. Now look how tight I am to her back. A lot of times I like to make this grip on her neck. This helps me, I feel like, pull myself up. It's a really good climbing grip. Even in Nogi I do this. And I just go like my palm like this to help me pull myself up, you see? And now I can get to the back. And all I'm doing is bringing her knee to the floor. Now I can climb. Get the collar if I want. One more time. Okay guys, so now we're going to go over another variation from this position. It's funny because this exact position I used in my first match in black belt ever. And I used this to get to the leg drag. So we bait the stack, of course. We're trying to bring their knees to the chest to take the back. But obviously, what is the person going to do? Like all the rules we've been learning, every time we bring somebody's knees to their chest, what is their response? To remove their knees from their chest, right? When they remove their knees from the chest, what happens? The passing box opens. The strike zone opens, right? But because we have this thumb in grip on their hip, we have such great pressure to keep the person's hips the other way. Now, what did we learn about keeping the person's hips the other way? Every time we're able to keep the person's hips the other way, the connection of their knee to their chest is compromised because of the misalignment of their spine, right? So when we misalign their spine and they try to fight us here, it's going to be very easy to move their knee off their chest because of that. And we have this grip that even help us support moving the spine more, okay? So now you'll see when I'm doing this, how easy it will be to combine in the leg jack because she's keeping her knees off her chest so she doesn't get stacked, right? She feels I'm gonna take her back. She starts avoiding the stack. Now her knees off her chest, we angle her hip, we go to the leg jack, okay? So we're here. I get the hip grip exactly like before. She holds my leg. I push the hip up. I get the arm wedge, push the leg up, control this leg. Now I'm gonna do the thumb in grip. I climb. I'm gonna start going like before to lift her hip up. But this time she's going to keep her butt below my arm. So look at her butt. Before I was able to get my shoulder under her butt like this, right? And then once I do this, I'm able to climb. This time, I can't get my shoulder under her butt. You see the difference? So you see like when we do twist work in those positions, I always have her shoulder up here, right? Usually that's when we could take the back. I wasn't able to get my body under her hip or her butt, right? So now what am I going to do? I'm going to push this foot to the floor. So I try to lift, she backs up, she squibs. I'm going to push this foot to the floor. Very strong to this side. Now she feels very pinned because all she's doing is pulling with her arms. So what I say to do before whenever I get here, I just bring my knee to my chest and I pummel my foot below her grip. So as you see her grip is like this. I'm just going to bring my heel down. Look how I brought my heel down. So her foot's here. I bring my heel down. And now the side of my foot is going to be here. So look, here. I just wanted you guys to see how I move my foot. Now look how I'm going to move my foot down. I bring my foot here, and I clear. The second I clear, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag her leg like so. I'm going to grab the collar. And now, side foot, live foot, come up. But when I come up, it's not like a normal come up because I have her hip completely pinned the other way. So I can pull her up even more, and I can pass the guard here. You see, she's even turning right now. I could even take the back if I want, or I could keep her hips down and pass the guard. Again. Here. I go under. She pulls my leg in. I go here. I get the leg here. I put my thumb in. I lift the leg. I go here. I start trying to get her hip on top of me, but you see her hip isn't. You see how her body fell down? This is the perfect time to do the leg drag. So all I do is I put my foot on her leg and I push down her leg, like so. The second I do this, I'm trying to lift, right? Bring your hips down. Now look, I bring my knee to my chest. I put my foot out. If I can even go over the grip. But I prefer, if I can, to always get my foot here on her hand. Now look, here, I take out my leg while I'm pushing down her hip. So I go 1, 2. The second I do this, I can even put my foot behind my leg, no problem. I just have to hook this leg, right? So I could even go behind my leg if that helps me. If it helps support me taking out my foot. Now I remove. I drag, because look at the pass box. Her arm is occupied. This is perfect time for me to pass the guard. Now I grab the collar in the pass box, right? 1, 2, here, pressure here. Pass the guard. Yeah. I'm here, I put the foot in, I go thumb in. Now I'm gonna push down her leg. 1, I'm trying to stack her. I got on top of her hips, look. I was able to stack her. She follows me this time. I can't get on top of her hip, you see? Now look, 1, I start dragging the leg, I go here. 2, so look, I'm on my shoulder a little bit and then I drop. The second I drop, look how my leg comes out. 2, now I can drag the leg. Once I drag the leg, connect to the ASIS. Now I can come up. Again. Try to lift, she brings her hip down. 1, I go here. 2, if I want to pull my heel out, sure. If I can't, I could go above, no problem. But then I'm going to drop my hips. And here, I'm trying to clear. Then I can lift. You see? If I feel like she fights me a lot, I can start climbing to the back. So she has to put her weight down in a way I can't lift her. You see? Now look how your leg is come. You see the difference, Sammy?
Yeah.
When you start fighting me from lifting you, so don't let me lift your back, like your butt, like your, yeah. Now look how your leg is weak.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Now I can go here. Here. Again. It falls. So I go here. 1, 2. Her hip falls. 1. Use the chest. 2. She has to defend this. Yes, now I can go to the back. Because I can go to the back, I can fight her leg strong here. Now I can go to the leg strong. That's very important. You just saw the difference there. I start lifting her hip up, she defends, perfect time to leg drag. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you an alternative grip that you could do when you have this grip and you feel like the person's holding your leg kind of strong. Now, I've seen many people do this. I like this grip a lot also. And some people have done this as well with the Meow Brothers. And they were really effective with this grip. And I think it's a very good feed that you could add into your berimbolo when you're doing this spot. Again, it follows all the rules and principles that we were working on, right? So it's going to just fit in perfectly. So we're here. I'm going to be in De La Riva. I'm going to go under. She grabs my leg. She pulls it in. So I'm going to lift the leg. I'm going to put my foot in. I'm going to feed my hand in the line of her body. But I'm going to notice this arm. You see this arm over here is free because it's grabbing my leg. So it's close to my hand. So instead of keeping my thumb in, I'm going to grab the sleeve of her like so. You see? So when I grab her sleeve, pull the leg again, please. When I grab the sleeve, now I'm going to push down her body. And look how much stronger I am keeping her body this way because I have her sleeve. You see? So I could go again to the first option of taking the back because I have her sleeve. Go back. Or I can pull the sleeve and go to a leg drag here. And now look how strong I am because I have her sleeve trapped. You see? So I could trap either arm here, if she's holding here. I could even go to this arm if I have the cover. You see? Now I can start taking the back here. Or I could trap this arm. You see? Again, it's all the climbing family principles of trapping the arms, but all we have to do is feed the sleeve. Here, I pull, I lift, and now look where I am. You see, she's making her back heavy. This is the spot where I would go to the leg drag. Because if I feel like I can't lift her, her shoulders are down, now I can bring my foot in. See, every time I can't lift her, I can bring my leg out. If you feel like it's hard to take your leg out, oh, it's hard, she's strong, pull this strong. Now look, you say your body comes up?
Yeah.
So I have the option of holding either sleeve, and then you could start playing with taking the back, holding the sleeve. So I'll be here, I'll be in the crab ride, I'll be here. I feel like she's pulling my leg. Get the gi grip, please. I get the sleeve, I feed the sleeve. Now I go here. Now look how I can go leg drag. 1, I could climb to the back, but now she's putting her back down. But if I want to climb, I go here. 2, I can even grab this sleeve. Now I can go here. 1. I start going here. I feel like I can lift her again. Make your back heavy, please. Yeah, now I can't lift her. So now I can clear. So if I want to clear, all I do is I bring my knee to her hip, and now my foot comes up. You see, because I can't lift her up, put shoulder down. I can't lift her up, but what I can do is I can take my knee out. Once I take the knee out, I'm on the hip, and now my foot can come out. Now I can pass. So again, so you see, it just follows all the principles we were working before. When we're climbing, the person's using their arms, we feed an arm, right? Here. Or here. I get the grip. I notice her arms are close to me, so I'm going to feed my hand to one of her sleeves, like this or this. And when I feed, now I can bring her hip down. I prefer this arm because, like I said, every time we get to this arm, the back of the head is exposed, right? So if I want to climb, look, I just get my knee here. I can even do this now, right? So I prefer this arm. And also, if we go leg jog, if I put my knee out, I go leg jog. Look how much control I have of her body if I have this cross arm. You see? But if I have the forearm, I could do the same stuff, but it's just a little different. I still have the same control because look how I can take her shoulder off the floor. You see? And now I can stretch her as well. Okay, so let's go back. Here. Here, I start going to the hip grip. I see the arm. So I see the arm. I could even use my foot that's in to pull her arm to me. So I can use my foot to pull the sleeve. Now I can feed. Once I feed, I can push her down. If I can lift her up. Look how I can lift her up. Get to the neck. If she puts her back down, she puts her back down. Now I put my knee on her leg. 1, 2. You see? So if her leg is open, all I do is I bring my knee like this. 1 to the side of her body. Now I can remove my foot. Here. Now I can jog. Here. Here. Put the foot in. I climb. I climb. I use my foot to feed. I get this arm. Okay, no problem. So now I'm just going to stretch. Okay, now I can take the back, right? Her hips on top of me. So now I'm just going to lift up her body and take the back. Again. You see the arm, I pull, I connect the arm. See, now I can lift up her body. If she flat backs, I still have my knee on her body like this. So now I can pummel. And all I'm doing when I pummel is I put the side of my knee on her leg, like this. I put pressure, and then my back leg is going to stretch her leg down, like this. Now look at my foot comes up. You see what I'm doing? So the side of my knee is putting pressure on her hip. This foot is lifting up her leg like this. Now I can pull out my foot. See how easy that is when I do it like this? So it's 1, 2, 3. Now I can jog. See, now I'm super tight. There's like guarantee she's gonna try to turn to 4 here. See? Again. Climb, she puts her shoulders down. Now I can't climb, right? So I just put my knee on the side of her body. I stretch the leg. I bring my knee on my side of my body. Now I can bring my foot out. So 1, 2, 3. I can pass it right. With her arm trapped. So it's kind of like, what are you doing with your arm? It's kind of like an old school Sao Paulo pass. You know, when you would trap the arm, but the arm is trapped like in front of you like a leg jump. So again. One, she falls. I can't do that. So side of my knee on the side of her body. 1, stretch the leg, foot in. So 1, 2, 3. Okay guys, so now the next position I'm going to show you is with the thumb and grip again, but this time instead of the crab ride family, we're going to be using the knee wedge to accomplish the same goal. Now we're going to end up back in crab ride because as you know, the knee wedge is a great extra leg to put in to connect the crab ride, okay, it's just gonna make everything easier, and the thumb in grip is going to help us move the body even more, okay? So we're going to be here. I'm going to go under. I'm gonna hold my leg. I'm going to end up here. Instead of going to the crab ride hook, right, I'm going to go to the knee wedge. And I'm gonna bring my thumb in the same way as before. But when I do this, remember how I showed you before, I'm able to bring our hip down really strong, right? So just like I had the crab ride hook before, when I brought our hip down, I'm able to do the same thing with the knee wedge. So now what am I going to do? You see how my knee is already out? I'm going to hook her knee like so. I'm going to grab the collar, and now I'm going to come up with this, a lot of pressure on her hip here because I have the thumb in grip, right? So I'm able to turn her hip like this. I'm able to put pressure on her body, and now I can pass the guard here. You see? And I have a lot of pressure on her hips. So again, when you hold my leg, I go here, I go knee wedge. Now as I go knee wedge, I'm able to feed the hand now. As I feed the hand, I bring her hip down. You see how her hip's on top of me, right? I grab the knee, I grab the collar. When I grab the collar, all I'm doing is this. I pull her knee away from her. I grab here. Now I come up. Here. You see? An arm triangle is exposed if I want. She's probably gonna let go and start framing. And now I get super tight leg jerk just like before. Again. Here. Come here. I put the thumb in. I start going to knee wedge. I lift up her hip. I get my foot here. Once I get my foot here, I grab the collar and I put pressure on her body. And now look where I end up. In the near side crab ride family with the thumb in grip. I can go arm triangle, she lets go and frames. I just close her elbow in the pass box and then pass. Again. Go here, knee wedge. I put pressure down. Notice when I do the knee wedge and put pressure down, I'm lifting her hip up. You see, she's putting weight down on her shoulders. I grab the collar. Now I come up here. Look how much pressure I have on her body right now. Again. See, the second I'm strong here is when I get my hip to her. So when I bring my knee in, and look how my hip gets to her hip. Now look how much pressure I can put on her body. Now look how strong I am. You see? Now I can either pass or take the back, right? You see how her neck is exposed? For sure I can take the back here. Okay? I go here, thumb in, knee wedge in, stretch. The same as the crab ride hook, right? I pull down her hip, I grab the collar, I come up. I come up. Again. And look how I use my hand to push her hip down even more so I can get my body even higher. And Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you another variation. And I do this when my opponent brings their hips up. Now I'm going to show you another way to change sides, right? Because she opens her hip. So it kind of follows the principle of the near crab ride family, right? But we have the knee wedge in the back of her knee on the other leg. But the second she opens, I'm going to be able to change sides, and then I can, again, climb to the back. This is one of my favorite ways to take the back. I love all the times they open their hips because then I'm able to climb, you know, and then I'm able to keep changing sides. And remember how I explained before in Jiu-Jitsu? Every time you're able to work two sides at once, you're way more superior than working one side. Because every time the person defends one side, they compromise their other frame, right? They're defending here, they're not focused on here. But if you make them focus on both sides at once, you're going to lose them because they can't focus on two things at once. So it's always a more efficient and effective thing for us to do if we're able to attack both sides at once. So constantly when we're doing berimbolo, especially crab ride, we're working side to side, climbing one side, they frame, then we change sides, then we change sides again. The more we change sides, the more loss they get. And the more loss they get, the more higher odds we're going to get to the back, right? And every time we change sides, we climb a little more. We climb a little more, then we can get to the back. So we're going to be here. We're going to go under. We're going to be using the knee wedge again. I get the grip. I get my thumb in. I start putting her hip down. I start going here, but I feel like her hip is up this time. I can't drop her knee because she's opening her hip. So what am I going to do? I'm going to grab the collar or the back of the head, whichever I want. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift up her hip. I'm going to roll to the other side. Look how when I roll to the other side, how this hand is already in. So I can throw my hook in. Super strong here. You see, because I already have it in. So I push in my hook. I step on the floor. Now I can go to the neck. And now I can take the back. These are the most fun berimbolos to do, honestly. I love because it's fun going side to side and it's fun climbing. So you're going to feel like, wow, I have her hips completely lifted when I change sides, okay? So we're here. Go under, she pulls my leg in. I lift her hip. I attack with the knee wedge. I start bringing her hip down. I feel like her hip is up this time. You see? I'm not able to just close her hip. She's opening her hip. So the second I feel this, I grab the back of the head too. I roll. The second I roll, I put my hook in. Look where I end up. Now all I have to do is keep her hips up. I get back to Sipo. Let me take the back. In here, I put my knee in. I go here. Now I start stretching. I go here. I start trying to close the knee. I can't. She's opening her hip. So now I just grab the collar. I roll. Look how I roll. I lift up her hip. I lift up her hip with my foot. Look how I'm able to balance. Because I'm on my head and my toe. Right? So I'm here. I just step on the floor and I balance on my head and toe. Now look how when I roll. Here. Now look, I'm going to just throw my hook in. Now once I throw my hook in, I can go here if I want. Take that back. Again, as you can see, it just follows all the same rules as before. Just different ways of doing the same thing. Here. We're here. I get the grip. I start lifting. Her hip stays on top of me like this. So I just step on the floor. I stack. Now I'm going to roll to the other side. Hook in. Neck. Take the back. Again. Again, near side collar is fine also. Far side, near side, back of the head, all climbing family grips, fine. Here or here, doesn't matter. I go here.